What if I told you that Brexit might actually save you money on your next European holiday? Theme parks could soon adapt their rides and stories around you personally. London's about to get one of the biggest Harry Potter shopping experiences in the world. And one restaurant actually charged parents extra for bad behaviour, not for the kids, but for the adults. Welcome to the Departure Lounge. Since Brexit, travelling to Europe's become a little bit more complicated, but there's also a surprising money-saving perk that many UK travellers still aren't using. If you're heading to Europe this year, you might be able to claim back VAT on things you buy abroad. Now, that's because UK residents are now treated as non-UK visitors when travelling in Europe. And in many EU countries, this means that you're eligible for tax-free shopping on certain purchases. Here's how it works. When you buy goods in participating stores, you simply ask the retailer if they offer tax-free shopping for non-EU residents. There's usually a minimum spend required in a single transaction, which varies by country. For example, around €90 in Spain and around €50 in Greece. At the till, you'll need to show your UK passport, keep your receipt and tax-free form, and make sure everything is completed correctly. Then comes the key step. Before you leave the EU, at the airport, port or train, you'll need to validate the paperwork with customs. Many airports now have self-service kiosks that make the process quick. Once validated, you can then receive the VAT refund back to your card or sometimes in cash. But there's a few things you need to know. Not everything qualifies. Typically alcohol, tobacco, food consumed on the spot, hotel stays and services are naturally excluded. And importantly, the goods must be taken home in your luggage and not used while you're still in the country. So, next time you're shopping on holiday, it might be worth asking the question at the till, because thanks to Brexit, your European shopping trip might come with a little tax refund bonus. And when it comes to travel, every saving helps get you one step closer to the next adventure. What if your next theme park visit was completely unique? Not because of the rides you choose, but because the attraction itself adapted to you. Well, that's the idea behind something called Agentic AI, and it could be the next major shift in visitor experiences. Unlike the AI tools we're used to today, which simply respond to prompts, Agentic AI can make decisions and take actions on its own. For visitors, that can mean experiences that adapt in real time. Just imagine arriving at a theme park where AI learns your preferences throughout the day, suggesting rides you love, helping you avoid queues, or even changing storylines in immersive attractions depending upon the choices that you make. Two guests could go through the same experience, but each gets a different version of the story. Right now, this technology isn't widespread yet, but many attractions already use early forms of AI and personalisation, such as recommendation systems, queue optimization, and interactive experiences. But fully agentic systems where AI independently shapes the experience in real time is still mostly in development. Companies designing immersive attractions are actively exploring it, and some experimental projects are already underway. So what does this mean for visitors? This isn't science fiction, but it's probably still a few years away from becoming mainstream. When it arrives, though, attractions may no longer deliver a single experience for everyone. Instead, they'll deliver an experience designed just for you. And in the future, the question might not be, have you been there? But what version of the ride did you get? Muggles, grab your wands because the wizarding world is expanding in London. A brand new flagship Harry Potter store is set to open in Oxford Street in the autumn of 2026, bringing one of the biggest wizarding retail experiences in the world right to the UK capital. The store will cover around 21,000 square feet across 2 floors, transforming a site on Oxford Street into what Warner Brothers describe as a fully immersive wizarding emporium. Visitors can expect interactive experiences and themed environments, exclusive merchandise that you won't find anywhere else, plenty of magical photo opportunities. In other words, it's designed to feel a bit like stepping into Diagon Alley, but right in the middle of London's busiest shopping street. Why this matters to visitors? Well, London's already had several Harry Potter attractions, including Platform 9 3/4 Shop at King's Cross and the hugely popular Warner Brothers Studio Tour, The Making of Harry Potter, just outside London. This new store effectively connects these experiences into the heart of central London, giving tourists another major Wizarding World stop on their itinerary. And the timing is no coincidence. The store is expected to open in the autumn of 2026, which is around the 25th anniversary of the first Harry Potter film. And at a time when the franchise is seeing renewed interest thanks to a new HBO TV adaptation in development. The bigger trend, though, this isn't about merchandise. Attraction companies are increasingly creating retailment experiences, shops that feel more like mini attractions with immersive sets, interactive moments, and themed storytelling. And for Harry Potter fans visiting London, this could quickly become one of the most magical stops in the city. What if a restaurant added a charge to your bill? Now, not for extra food, not for service, but for your parenting. Now, that's exactly what happened in January 2023. A family sat down for dinner at a riverside restaurant in the mountains of northern Georgia. Now, it should have been a peaceful evening, but instead, kids were running around, parents were chatting, other diners were staring at them, and staff were visibly stressed. When the bill finally arrived, there was a surprise, an extra charge, labeled simply bad parenting. Now, the internet exploded, and this wasn't a joke. The restaurant, Tokyo Riverside Restaurant, had actually written a warning into its menu: adult surcharge for adults unable to parent. Now, some reports suggested the charge could reach around $50 if staff believed children were disruptive. According to the owner, the rule had been introduced during the pandemic years before, but his reasoning: restaurants were struggling, tensions were high, and some diners were letting their kids run wild. But his message was blunt: we want parents to be parents. But the family involved said their children, as part of a group of 11 kids aged 3 to 8, were simply playing outside and weren't causing trouble. They thought the warning on the menu was a joke until it wasn't. The story spread across Reddit, TikTok, and news outlets, and the debate began. Some people were furious, calling the charge anti-family and humiliating. Others said, finally, someone said it. Because anyone who's eaten out has seen it. The toddler meltdown, the tablets blasting cartoons at full volume, the child sprinting between tablets while waiters dodged trays of hot food. The restaurant owner later claimed the fee was rarely enforced and was more of a warning than a regular policy, but by then it didn't matter. The internet had already chosen sides, and the bigger question remained: should restaurants simply serve food, or should they also enforce manners too? What do you think? And I'll just leave you with this. What did travellers like best about Switzerland? Well, I'm not sure, but I'll tell you what, I know the flag's a big plus. Mm. Oh, are we there yet?